Okay, so I don't know if you watched the other video or not. The titles are self-explanatory. We're going to leave this one a little bit in and of itself, as centered around being an American living in the Netherlands. We are already, today's date, that does not list a date on it. See, Aaron's birthday is this weekend, so we're still in the single digits. Are we in the 9th? Are we in the 10th? Something like that. Anyways, I've been here, oh, it's the 10th, yes. I've been here, you know, I pulled into Amsterdam Centraal on my train from Frankfurt after my plane from Portland, Oregon, August 5th. It is currently August 10th, and that, so 5 days? No, 4 years and 5 days. Plus that extra day for a leap year. Anyways, so what has it been like living here? Well, I've become, by and large, bilingual. Am I fluent in Dutch? I don't speak it conversationally, but over the last year at least, I have been not translating that many websites. I've been going through group chats for my American football team and not needing to translate the Dutch messages that come through. If it's really fast and I just don't want to take the time, the extra time to read the Dutch, because I was in Albertheim and I didn't have any reception and suddenly 20 messages came through, I'll select them all and throw them in Google Translate. Just because I can go really fast in English. I can't read fast in Dutch, but I can read it. I can speak pretty much any word I see, you know, because I know where the word is supposed to break itself apart into the smaller words. And that's beneficial with that. But when it comes down conversationally, I don't know where to breathe within the conversation. We're not going to talk about understanding the stuff because with my autism, I'm like map-centric person. I have a superpower with like maps and directions and organizing systems of stuff. So like the transit method, the transit systems, the bike paths, which streets I can be on a bike, which ones I can't be, all that jazz. That came into my head. That comes into my head so easily. It's kind of hard to even compare myself to other people. And my husband will agree to that. And now, so when it comes down to language, yeah, I'm pretty much bilingual. But unlike many that live in Germany, American immigrants that live in Germany, I don't have to speak Dutch. They like it that I can, and the fact that they can say things in Dutch, like when I'm having a one-on-one conversation with someone, I can just tell them to speak a little slower. They are more comfortable around me because they can express themselves in their natural language, in like their thinking language. And so, another thing is that I feel that I am seen differently than other Americans. I am not the American expat anymore, you know? I naturally can pull out the Dutch G when looking at words, you know? It's not Igebrudge or Igeburge, it's Iber, you know? Street signs and all that jazz. And I've been around them enough, and I haven't been inside the expat bubble. I don't hang around with Americans here. I go to an American football team in Hilversum, and I've only actually met 2 other Americans on that team. We had Michael, who was a linebacker for a little while, and we had Tyler, who was years ago, but Corona kind of messed things up. People had to move back home, yada yada, visas ran out. But Aaron and I are still here. So, so I'm pretty much dealing with Europeans on top of that, and by and large Dutch. So, I am outside the expat bubble. I don't have an expat bubble. I'm not around anybody that is that way. I'm not even around other non-Europeans, shall we say. Because I know that like many people can be around, I don't know. But there's also things I don't hold myself to after a fashion with the United States. I don't try to import foods that are comforting to me back from the States. I'll find a replacement here. And I've brought this up before on numerous TikTok comments and stuff. Please live, you know, I've tried to live here, not trying to make a tiny little island of the United States where I am. I've learned about food products that, while they do exist in the States, are much more common here. And I never knew about them in the States because I never bought them, and nobody I knew ever really used them in food, so I never knew their name. But I know them here, such as Wietloaf. Apparently, it's called white cabbage in the States, but I never knew that. I call it Wietloaf, because that's what it is now. And, you know, let me go get, I will still say to Aaron, oh, hang on, we're getting a lot of groceries, let's get a cart. But my brain looks at that thing and says, Winkelwagen. In terms of like grocery shopping, I eat much more fresh fruit here than I did in the States. Mainly because it's easy to buy raspberries or mango and ananas. It's another thing. I can think about pineapple, but I have to remember it's called pineapple. To me, it's literally ananas. And everything I see, even if it's in German, it still says ananas. I don't buy plants though. I feel that I have a black thumb. I'm just gonna, doesn't matter if I get coriander, peterselie, or Mund, I'm just gonna kill it real fast. Because I'm just not gonna watch it. I'm not gonna give it any sun or anything, it's just gonna die. And I'm gonna spend, okay, so it's only $1.79. But that's the thing, is like, this is something you can do here that's very common. I am not in a fancy grocery store. This is the Appy. Another thing for like shopping, as well as buying things from like Praxis or something, is you're just generally dealing with, you know, metric measurements. And I stopped trying to figure that shit out. And I'll still see people, and I will still see people coming in, and they've been living here for a long time, and they'll give me directions in miles. Oh yeah, it's only about 10 miles away. I'm like, how are you still using miles? And I don't stay held on to, you know, things from the United States that were, oh, that's just how I've always done it. You can change. And I've noticed a fair number of people, especially amongst the expats or American immigrants, is they don't want to change, really. They say they want to change, like, oh, well, I'll get around to it, but they still have this stuck in the mud mentality about everything. Scout. Well, anyways. But yeah. And so I didn't even try converting anymore. I don't care. You know, I eat my tacos consist of 600 grams of Rundgrat, which is ground beef. It's at 15%, something like that, I guess. And that makes 4 soft tacos. I'm literally checking the meat's percentage right now. Fette. Voedingswaarde 100 gram. Fette 12, so it's 12%, okay. But yeah, do I ever really want to go back to the United States? No. I don't get along with Americans, flat out. From where I'm from, it's not even a valid part of the United States. It's an external place you go to visit. You know, we're just land attached to the rest of everything, and, you know, occasionally we're brought up by Fox News as being the most terrifying, most leftist part of the country. But I can't even, like, accept voting for Democrats anymore because they're so conservative. Well, that's our only option. That's the problem. I just have given up on trying to pay attention to the United States and deal. And I've just given up on the politics because, you know, well, nothing will change back home. That's the thing. You guys still consider that home. Many people have told me, you got to care about what's going on back at home. I'm like, no, I don't. Because it's not home. This is home. And to me, you know, there are other definitions for expat, but if you still consider the United States home, you're not really an immigrant. You're not fully invested in living here. You're not really invested in learning the language. You're existing here. And that's probably what a lot of them find really frustrating about me, is that I treat them differently. Because I don't feel American. I never have felt American. Even within the borders, I felt like an outsider. If you want to know more about my life living here, ask questions below. I'll make another video over the weekend or something. We've got a lot of hot days coming here, and I may be inside answering questions.